most entrepreneurs and investors will say, I don't have time for this, that, and the other, things that are actually important to them. And then they're busy trying to survive, trying to go from one meeting to the next meeting, trying to be busy doing all sorts of things. That's a lot of it is busy work, but it's not the work that's actually going to give them the quality of life that they need. Hello, amazing investors and entrepreneurs tuning in live here from this beautiful park or trail, however you want to call it. This is one of my favorite seasons, actually the favorite season in Canada, which is Eastern Canada, which is fall. And you can see the colors coming out. It's beautiful. The weather today feels like summer, to be honest. Doesn't even feel like fall. Last week was very cold. I wanted to jump on here and talk about something really important with you. The number one belief that holds you back, that stops you from being 10 times more productive. I can't hold both of my hands, but I'll do this 10 times more productive. And I'm not just exaggerating or anything like that. And here's why I say this. And first of all, let me tell you what the belief is. The belief is simply, for most entrepreneurs, for most investors, that I don't have time. They will say that about a lot of things. I don't have time to work on my business versus in the business. I don't have time to go spend with my family. I don't have time to give my child some presents or my spouse to give her or him some attention. I don't have time to work on my finances. I don't have time to work on the strategy for my business. I don't have time to sit down and think about all the important things that I need to do. I don't have time to meet with my employees. I don't have time to meet with my team members and work on the most important things that I want. I don't have time to work out, to go outside and actually feel and think and be a human being. I did not have time, but I made the time to do this. And I'm here. Alive was that most entrepreneurs and investors will say, I don't have time for this, that, and the other, things that are actually important to them. And then they're busy trying to survive, trying to go from one meeting to the next meeting, trying to be busy doing all sorts of things. That's a lot of it is busy work, but it's not the work that's actually going to give them the quality of life that they need, or the quality of the business that they need, or the progress in their personal life and business that they need. And because they haven't taken the time, or you haven't taken the time to actually sit down and figure out what is truly important to you. You might have thought about it here and there in the shower and other places, or talking to people. We haven't actually fully taken the time out to see what is truly important to you and what are the key moving pieces that are going to give you the biggest leverage to create a better life for yourself, a better path forward, a better business, to create growth in your business. And because you haven't taken that time out, you haven't made the time, you're struggling and you're going from one meeting to the next meeting, one test to the next test without any breaks. You don't feel like you have the time to even breathe at times, or to be there fully present with your child, with your family, to step back from your business and work on it, to look at it strategically. Are the things that I'm doing really giving me the payoff that I need? And I realized that when I was working close to 65, 70 hours in my business, and I kept telling myself the same thing. I don't have the time. I don't have the time, until my own coach, mentor sat me down and kind of gave me a challenge around, okay, let's take a look at everything that you're doing. Let's pull up your calendar. As I did that, actually, a good portion, about 40% of what I was doing, 35, 40% was not really that great. It wasn't giving me the ROI that I needed. So I got a challenge to experiment with this. And fast forward a few years, I got to a point where I'm running two businesses with about 37, 38 hours. And a lot of my time is spent for my own development, with my family, with my community. And to be honest, if I spend a little bit more time with my family, I'm going to drive them crazy. So it's better that I have the time that I do have with them at this point. And so going from 65, 70 hours to about 37, 38 hours a week and running two businesses instead of one, that to me would have looked like a miracle in the past. And also have the time to be with my family, to connect with them, to feel being alive and be grateful for the life that I have created, versus kind of waiting for some unknown future where I would create this. That seemed like a miracle. I just came back from an event that we did, in Santa Fe. And one of my clients there, we spent a whole 8 hours working through their strategy for their life, for their business. And she literally said that I would have never spent this much time working through this, but the amount of clarity that I've gotten out of this is so useful for me. And this is going to strategically propel me forward and get focused and not be so distracted and busy for the sake of just being busy. Another one of my clients who ended up getting a 20-year contract, government contract in his business, it was a different kind of business, logistical business, because he started taking out time for strategic thinking for his business every Wednesday and actually taking the time out to be outside, which is the reason why he moved out to West. And that ended up giving him a 20-year contract, which he said that he would never have gone had he not had the time to think about his business strategically. And the story's going on and on, but most of these people in the beginning believed, including me, that I just don't have the time. So you're probably going to say the same thing with the workshop that I've been promoting. It's a completely free workshop for you. It's 3 hours. I know 3 hours, like, oh my God, I didn't have time, 20 minutes to eat or 10 minutes to eat. How am I going to do this? You're going to make time. The reason you're going to make time for this is because this is the interruption that you will need for you to create a better year next year, a better quarter the next quarter, not because you're hoping that next year will be better for your life and business, for your relationships, for who you are, for the kind of leader that you want to be, but you're going to actually spend these 3 hours where I'm going to walk you through a process for you to pay attention to all the important parts of your life and start paying attention to the parts you're not looking at and start to notice, what are my blind spots here? What am I not paying attention to? You will also get the opportunity to learn from other entrepreneurs and investors who are trying to do the same thing as you, and you're going to get the time to connect with them. So make sure you show up to my workshop. It's going to be on the 31st, next week, Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern. If you're in a different time zone, wake up a little bit early, make the time, because this is going to serve you more than you think. This will be the change that you need for you to propel yourself 10x forward. I'm not only going to walk you through a process that's going to help you to dive deep and strategically look at your life and business and contributions, but also I'm going to give you a plan forward as well to 10x your productivity further in the year that's coming up, in the quarter that's coming up. In fact, I'm going to get you to think about much more long-term. Hopefully you got all that. I'm excited to support you. Make sure you show up October 31st on Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern. I'm excited to see you there. And as soon as you join, you'll actually get access to a training with a PDF that's going to actually help you start to think about being intentional and strategic in your life, in business. It's not the kind that you're used to. It's a 20-minute training plus a PDF. It will serve you a lot. So at the least, take advantage of that. I'll put the link to register below in the comments, and I'll see you there next week. Take care. Bye.